Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. On the show this week, we look at how the oldest badminton association in Malaysia, Penang, is producing champions for the country. And we're in Bahrain to report on the Bahrain International Badminton Festival and the development of the sport in the country.
Malaysia boleh.
Malaysia boleh. We come from Lee Chong Wei.
For almost a decade now, men's singles superstar Lee Chong Wei has been the face of Malaysian badminton. His achievements on the international scene are lauded worldwide. But like most success stories, Lee started from humble beginnings. And it is the coastal state of Penang that the former world #1 owes his early foray into the sport to. Even before Lee's rise to fame, the Malaysian state was already doing its bit for the national cause and still continues to do so.
From 1949 until now, almost all the Thomas Cupper, all the Thomas Cup players are from our Penang.
Our cameras were at the Penang Badminton Association recently to find out the secret of their success. Even as it closes in on its 90th year, watching over the sport's development in the state, BPA's found little difficulty regenerating its talent pool.
With all the stars that from years of 40s, 50s, from those our superstars, is very much easier to promote badminton. Just a lot of parents, to them, those stars are their icon. So they wanted their son or their daughters to be as good as they are.
State players are characterized not just by ability, but also the right attitude. BPA is home to 70 prospects, from the under-12s to the under-18s. With 5 training centers spread across Penang, its small stable of coaches works around a well-planned schedule.
So all these players come at a different time. They don't come together at 70 players all in one group. They segregate themselves according to where they are staying. So that is where we as coaches move around. As on the schedule of timetable that we have set, we move around to coach these players. So these players, knowing that if for example, as a chief coach, I'm in Butterworth, knowing that they are staying in Butterworth, they will come to Butterworth. But some players staying in Penang, they will come to the Penang Center for training.
Discipline is a #1 criteria for us to choose. If a player which is very powerful and very talented, but their discipline is no good, we consider to take them in. Because to us, we work as a team.
Judging by their results in the national circuit, it's a formula that's worked time and time again.
These goals are met by the system of training. What sort of training we give them and how continuity is the training throughout the year. So these goals are met through that way. My objective and goals are to produce results. That is what I also tell my coaches. Year to year, we have to produce results.
And it's not just about the hard work spent on the training courts. There's a lot of hours spent behind the scenes. Handling the various aspects of the organization hasn't been easy, but a collective effort from everyone connected has certainly helped.
There is a lot of effort to put on, a lot of time consumed in organizing and managing the association like this. But to me, what I feel easy is cooperation. Our success, I would say, is a human relationship.
With BPA's clear direction, a dedicated coaching team, and proactive stakeholders, it's no wonder there's genuine optimism that the state of Penang will continue producing more gems for Malaysian badminton.
This year we are celebrating our 90 years anniversary. I sincerely hope that one of these days, in the year of 100, another 10 years to go, it's not very far, of course it's not very short. I hope to see another Lee Chong Wei, another Goh Hin Wei to be coming.
They're a really popular pair here on this circuit, Alpika and Muskens. Well played. Lovely stuff, by far the best rally of the match so far.
Yeah, the fans here enjoying that.
For me, it was a Ford.
Renault Twingo. It's a hard one. I think my first meaningful title was winning the 8 Nations under 15 in singles and doubles.
Dutch junior champion, and also I think 6 Nations, one of that international. Bambi.
I think one Tom and Jerry movie.
If it's really bad, then I call my dad.
Yeah, it depends on the subject, but most of the time I'll call my dad.
At the supermarket.
I was working in an ice cream store. The best job ever.
They haven't. They've done it. Holland gets his first win of the day. In the end, it did go according to seeding. Delight in the crowd. It was a fine display by Muskens and Selena Peak.
It's trivia time. We want you to name the doubles pair who have won 4 consecutive MetLife BWF World Superseries titles in 2015. We'll give you the answer later in the show. After the break, we're in Bahrain to report on the Bahrain International Badminton Festival. Since the introduction of Shuttle Time Dubai and the annual year-ending Dubai World Super Series finals last year, badminton has become a fast-growing sport in the UAE. Rapid development in the last year can be largely credited to its grassroots programs. From shuttle time courses to the establishment of training centers, as well as tournaments like the Shuttle Time Dubai Schools and Club Championships, badminton is seeing a remarkable increase in participation and popularity. And their success is also helping raise the profile of the sport in the Middle East.
It's what's happening in Dubai. It's not remaining in Dubai. We can see the regional effect as well. Many countries now starting doing a lot of shuttle time activities, trying to develop their teachers, their junior players. Even because of the Super Series event, and people have seen in this region high level of organization and new ideas. Other countries also trying to just copy what Dubai is doing, and this is very important for development. It's just not only we are focusing in Dubai, also the regional countries start taking the sports very seriously in the players' development and also the events development.
One of the Gulf countries looking to follow in the footsteps of Dubai is the Kingdom of Bahrain. The Bahrain International Badminton Festival took center stage at the Sheikh Khalifa Sports City recently, and Badminton Unlimited took the opportunity to find out more about the sport in the island nation.
Badminton Festival is all about organizing different types of events, like for example shuttle time, the coaching classes, and we have 2 tournaments like back to back. One is International Series and other one is International Challenge. This is the first time we are hosting these 2 tournaments in Sheikh Khalifa Sports City, the venue. Before we used to do one tournament in Indian Club and one is in Kerala Samajans. We want to promote actually badminton in Bahrain, and this is the best place that from all over the Bahrain that people can come to watch and there are many good responses are there from the first time. This is the first time we're getting good response from the Bahraini players.
With football the most popular sport in the kingdom, the Federation took steps to increase the appeal of badminton. By hosting the event at the state-of-the-art facility and with bigger prize money, the Federation has made the tournaments more attractive. This year has seen more participants and fans at the event than ever in Bahrain.
This is the first time I think in Bahrain made a history that we are having more than 31 countries for these two events. I think international series we are having 18 countries, and for international challenge we are having 30 countries representing for this tournament. I mean, we were not even like getting 30 players for the events. This time, in fact, we got a very good response from previous years. I believe like there are more than 127 players are playing for the series, as well as for the challenge, it's more than 200 players, which is very good response.
The two-week badminton festival has also provided a number of courses to boost the quality of officials and coaches in the region. In a bid to grow the sport through the school system, shuttle time courses were held for Bahrain's school and college coaches. Over 30 PE college students also participated in a line judge clinic, and they put their newly acquired knowledge to good effect at the event. For Bahrain badminton, this was a first for the country.
We have courses at University of Bahrain, elective courses, and those are racket sports, and badminton is one of them. We work with Jafar to actually introduce shuttle time first to our students, and Jafar told me that there will be a champion, and this is a good chance for your students to be aligned judges and to love the game more. So we are happy to see our students here in the championship, and they learn a lot.
It's first time for me. I be the line judge, and it's very excited. I learn too much because if you see the player watch you to know it's out or in, it's very excited, no? Judge look to you, everybody look to you. It's very excited.
Although the sport is slowly gaining popularity, they recognize the need to create greater awareness amongst Bahrainis, especially the youth.
My hope actually to put the badminton, the shuttle time curriculum in our university curriculum, and I hope this will happen soon. I already talked to my dean, and she is really enthusiastic about it. This is my goal, to increase the number of teachers and coaches, to increase the number of participants.
It's the hope that with shuttle time as a permanent course at the university, there will be a constant flow of PE teachers on hand to introduce the sport in schools. Badminton in Bahrain may be in its infancy, but the administrators have taken positive steps towards growing the sport. Given time to develop, they are confident the country can produce a top-class player in the future. Earlier on the show, we asked you to name the doubles pair who have won 4 consecutive MetLife BWF World Superseries titles in 2015. The answer is Lee Yong-tae and Yoo Yeon-seong. After a slow start to 2015, the pair kicked off the second half of the MetLife BWF World Superseries campaign with a bang in Tokyo. Victory at the Yonex Open Japan gave the Koreans a boost, and the duo kept the momentum going, winning the next 3 World Superseries tournaments in Korea, Denmark and France. And that win in Paris sees Lee take his World Superseries title total tally to an impressive 40. Last weekend, the conclusion of the Thai Hot China Open dished out some spectacular badminton action at the Haisia Olympic Sports Center. First up on finals day was the women's doubles, as Japan's Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi took on hosts Tan Yuan-ting and Yu Yang. Grabbing the first game, India Open winners Matsutomo and Takahashi got the start they'd wanted, but only to see their Chinese opponents squaring up the match in the second. Yu and Tang used the momentum as they grabbed the third to seal the title. Final score 18-21, 21-13, 21-12. Keeping up China's challenge next were mixed doubles world champions Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei as they stepped out to face Denmark's Joachim Fischer-Nielsen and Christina Pedersen. Prior to this final, the Danes had won 4 consecutive encounters and were looking to remind their opponents who was boss. But it was the Chinese #1 seeds who came out on top in the end, putting an end to their wretched streak in 3 games, 21-19, 17-21, 21-19. It was the turn of India's top women's singles player Saina Nehwal next to try to upset the hosts as she took on Li Xuerui. The Chinese Olympic champion had gone winless for almost a year before retaining her Denmark Open title last month. And another triumph here would go a long way to boost her fragile confidence. After 39 minutes and 2 games, Li's winning swagger seemed to have returned. The title went to the rejuvenated shuttler with a final score 21-12, 21-15. Then came the big one in the men's singles final, where world #1 Chen Long renewed his rivalry with Malaysia's superstar Lee Chong-wei. Even after edging past 2-time Olympic gold medalist Lin Dan the day before, many doubted Lee's title credentials against an opponent who defeated him in 2 World Championship finals. But responding with a controlled and composed performance, the former world #1 proved he still got it. Dato' Lee showing his class in straight games, 21-15, 21-11. Last but certainly not least was the men's doubles contest, with Chai Biao and Hong Wei keen to make the home support count against Korea's Kim Ki-jung and Kim Sa-rang. Runners-up in last year's tournament, the Chinese tandem didn't want a similar outcome. But a slow start worked against the world #5 as the Koreans gave no room for any kind of comeback. The 2 Kims swept Chai and Hong aside in 2 games, 21-13, 21-19. After the break, we're in Brunei to speak to the nation's top player, Jasper Yu Wun-chai, about his determination in growing the sport in the country. This week's Player of the Week is Malaysia's badminton son, Lee Chong-wei. After defeating longtime rival Lin Dan in the semi-finals of last week's Thai Hot China Open, the men's singles shuttler went on to outclass 2-time world champion Chen Long to take home the title. It was the world #9's second consecutive MetLife BWF World Superseries triumph after his win in France. Last week, we were in the tiny Southeast Asian state of Brunei as we featured a sports school trying to help the development of badminton in the country. This week, we profile a shuttler who has been doing his best to bring attention to the sport. Meet Jasper Yu Wun-chai, the 26-year-old right-hander from his nation's capital, Bandar Seri Begawan.
Hi, my name is Jasper Yu from Brunei and I usually play in the men's singles event.
Considered the best shuttler in his country, Yu picked up the sport as a restless youth at the suggestion of his mother.
I was having a holiday, so I had nothing to do. Then my parents were like, "Why don't you go and train? There will be a coach teaching you how to play badminton. Would you be interested?" So at the time, I was thinking, I have nothing to do. Why not?
It wasn't long before his potential was noticed, and he was part of the national team setup. Although blessed with undoubted talent, Yu had been sheltered in Brunei. He was still trying to understand what it took to be an elite player. This was to change when his coach offered him an opportunity to spread his wings.
My coach probably saw potential in me and then just recommended a few juniors, and I was lucky to be one of the few juniors who get to travel together with the seniors abroad. So that was my first time representing Brunei and I got to experience international badminton, and that really opened my eye. I was like, wow, this is the level of international player and there's a lot of hard work that I need to do.
With a sense of purpose, he developed quickly. But just as he was finding his feet, changes in management would stall his progress. After 15 years in charge of the national team, coach Wu Xuekai left his post. For Yu, it couldn't have come at a worse time.
So after 2009, when the coach left, the national team was left alone, and there wasn't anyone else to guide us. So my progress at the time, I felt it halted even more. So it was only recently that I started, it was only recently, like 2-3 years ago, that I've started to compete again.
Apart from the lack of direction and competition, there was also societal pressures to deal with. In a country where academic achievement is prized above everything else, Yu's decision to concentrate on badminton was frowned upon.
Typical Asian family, the parents would be like, oh, you have to study, you have to get good grades, and then you get a good job. Initially, my parents was like that. They felt that studies was very, very important, but towards the latter stages, my parents understood that I was really interested in badminton, and they started to really encourage me when it comes to badminton as well as my studies. What they did is just, okay, you are now very, very active in badminton, but also please do not forget about your studies, so you've got to keep things in check, keep things in balance.
Now studying geography and development at the University of Brunei Darussalam, Yu is working hard to maintain those checks and balances.
When I was in tournament, obviously I will be missing classes. This semester is of no difference. I've already missed like 3 weeks of classes. During that time when I'm away, I would usually text my classmates, I would usually text my friends to let me know that, oh, if there's any work or if there's any essays to be done or if there's any discussion that I missed out on, please let me know. And I will do my best to get through them through, I don't know, social media, WhatsApp. I can always respond from there, emails. Or when I come back from abroad, from tournaments, I will always catch up on the education part of my work. So that is how I juggle, but it's a lot of work to do.
There have been some sporting perks to his studies. Last year, he spent 6 months in Japan as part of an internship scheme. Whilst there, he was able to train at the NTT East Corporation Club, receiving the same guidance as the likes of top shuttlers Kenichi Tago and Kento Momota. It is these experiences that he's hoping to bring to his role as coach at the Brunei Darussalam Sports School.
These experiences that I've had abroad is priceless. I will put it this way. I hope to be able to give some tips. I hope to be able to teach or pass on some of the knowledge that I know. I try my best. I'm still learning on how to coach. I've got a coaching certificate, but it doesn't really mean anything at this moment in time. But I'm still, trying to be better when it comes to coaching.
Not that he's looking to wrap up his career anytime soon. The coaching gig brings in the money that allows him to travel to tournaments. It also allows him to use the excellent facilities and a large supply of training partners.
I have sort of divided responsibilities. I've got different responsibilities. Now, when I've got time, I will take part in the training, and when I've got extra time, the kids will accompany me and I will get to train a little.
In a country where badminton is struggling to assert itself, Jasper Wu is determined to do everything he can to keep the sport alive. Despite all the obstacles he has had and continues to face, his love for the game is stronger than ever.
I've tried most of the racket sports. I also tried basketball, football, but badminton is just something that I enjoy and slowly have developed passion for. I just cannot imagine my life without badminton now.
Before we go, let's take a look at what's happening on the international circuit with our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we're in Dubai as we find out more about the role the newly established training centres are playing in developing the sport in the Emirati. See you next week.